Here I have a SAT math question. Okay, let's go with the information. The product of a positive number x and the number that is 4 less than twice x is 390. What is the value of x? So here x is a positive number. When I multiply the positive number x and the number given by the expression 4 less than twice x is 390. First, let me write the number x, and now I have to write the expression for this statement 4 less than twice x. So whenever we find the stuff 4 less than, immediately some students will write 4 negative. Actually, it is not correct. 4 less than twice x means this 4 has to be subtracted from 2 times of x, that is twice x. Then we are getting the expression 2x negative 4. So this is the expression I'm getting for the statement 4 less than twice x. So now I multiply the number x and the number given by the expression 4 less than twice x, that is 2x negative 4. So the product equals to 390 according to the question. So in this equation we have to solve for x. So clearly it's a quadratic equation because when I multiply x and 2x, I'm getting 2x square. Okay, now let's get this quadratic equation standard form, that is in the form ax square positive bx positive c equals to 0. So standard form means we are getting everything on one side of the equation, on the other side we must have 0, so that we can solve the quadratic equation easily. Okay, so first let me distribute this x to 2x and negative 4. When I do so, I'm getting 2x square. When I distribute this x to negative 4, I'm getting negative 4x equals to 390. As I said, we have to get everything on one side of the equation. On the other side, we must have 0. Okay, now we can get rid of this 390 at the right side. For that, we have to subtract 390 from both sides. Let me do it. So positive 390, negative 390 will cancel out. I am getting 2x square, negative 4x, negative 390 equals to 0. Okay, when I look at the coefficient of x square, coefficient of x, and the constant term, so everything as the greatest common divisor 2, but we can divide all the terms in this equation, I mean on the both sides of this equation by 2 to make the number smaller. So it will be easier for us to solve the equation. Let me divide this one by 2, this one by 2, this one by 2, on the right side 0 by 2. So this 2 will cancel out. I'm getting x square negative. So when I divide the 4 by 2, I'm just getting 2, and here we have x. And when I divide 390 by 2, I'm getting 195. On the right side, when I divide 0 by 2, I'm just getting 0. Okay, I think this quadratic equation can be solved by factoring. Anyways, let's try. If it doesn't work, we can go with quadratic formula. Otherwise, we can use Desmos. Okay, so to solve the quadratic equation by factoring, I have to multiply the constant term by the coefficient of x square. In this case, it's 1. When I multiply negative 195, the constant term, by the coefficient of x square 1, I am getting negative 195. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to get two factors over here and here, so that the product of the two factors equals to negative 195, and the sum of these two factors equals to the coefficient of x, that is negative 2. Since this number is negative, that is negative 195, so the difference of the two factors must be equal to 2, which is the coefficient of x over here. So don't worry about the negative sign, that we can discuss later. So whenever the number over here is negative, so the factors we are getting over here must have the difference of the number what we have over here. So that we have to get two factors. Okay, now and also, so the digit of the ones place over here is 5. So we have to take one digit number over here, one digit over number over here, so that the product of the two one-digit numbers must be ending with 5. So I think 1 and 5 we can try, but the difference between 1 and 5 definitely we won't be getting 2, so it will be 4. So I think 3 and 5 will work. So when I multiply 3 and 5, I am getting 15. So the digit at one's place is 5. That exactly we have over here. And also when I try to find the difference between 3 and 5, it's 2. So but the product of these two factors must be equal to negative 195. So then I have to take 13 and 15. When I multiply 13 and 15, I am getting 195. So, but I have to get negative 195. So I have to consider one number as positive and other number as negative. At the same time, when I combine these two numbers, it must be equal to negative 2, which is a coefficient of x. I think positive 13 and negative 15 will work. When I multiply positive and negative, I'm getting negative. When I multiply 13 and 15, I'm getting 195. When I combine these two numbers, I am getting negative 2, which is a coefficient of x. Okay, so in my next step, what I have to do is I have to divide both these factors by the coefficient of x square. In this case, it's 1. Even if I divide positive 13 and negative 15 by 1, still I'm getting positive 13 and negative 15. So now to get the two values of x for this quadratic equation from the two factors over here, what I have to do is I have to change the sign of each of these two factors. Okay, now let's consider the first one. It's positive 13. If I change the sign over here, it will become negative 13. So that is the first value of x. Now to get the second value of x, I have to change the sign of the second factor. Already it's negative. If I change the sign, it will become positive. Okay, I'm getting two values for x. One is x equals to negative 13 and other one is x equals to positive 15. According to the information we have in the question, x is a positive number. Since x is a positive number, we can reject the negative value of x, that is x equals to negative 13, and we can consider the positive value of x, that is x equals to 15. Therefore, the value of x is a positive 15.